Hi, and welcome to episode 4 of season 4 of A Brief History of Nothing on the 15th of March 2016. And on this day, what happened on this day?
In 44 BC, Julius Caesar was stabbed to death by some members of the Senate that weren't very happy with him.
Did he annoy some people, did he?
Yes, some bloke named Brutus was particularly displeased with him, but everybody stabbed him so that everybody was guilty and no one could snitch on each other. In 1917, Tsar Nicholas II abdicated from the Russian throne. In 1939, the Nazis invaded and took control of Czechoslovakia. 1965, Lyndon Baines Johnson addressed both houses of Congress and asked for equal voting rights for all, saying that the literacy and other tests that have been used to try and disqualify mainly black voters from voting should be abolished. In 1972, Francis Ford Coppola's movie The Godfather was premiered on this day. Right, what have we got?
Right, well, I know we've talked about this subject before a couple of times, but yet again...
Aren't we talking about eating?
Eating?
Yes, pie.
Pie, yes, of course, yes.
Not that kind of pie.
Not that kind of pie, the number pie. It was Pie Day yesterday, 14th of March, 314.
Yes.
Yes, so happy belated Pie Day.
Happy belated Pie Day, yes.
For those who, particularly engineers and mathematics and physicists, who use pie on a regular basis.
Yes. Nerdism to the max.
Yes. Anyway, to our main story tonight, and, well, BuzzFeed have reported about nearly a week ago, because we didn't cover it last week because this happened just after we recorded. Well, they had a few customer service reps from Uber that were a bit annoyed at Uber, so what they did is they went to BuzzFeed with screenshots of customer support tickets that came out with rape tickets of nearly 6,000, sexual assault complaint tickets of north of 6,000, and just ones that say assault, about 3,500. If you use the past tense of sexual assault, sexually assaulted, you get about 800.
Right.
And no one thought, oh wait, maybe we should go to the police on this one?
I would have thought that there should be some sort of hue and cry about this. Putting rape and sexual assault together, that's 12,000 cases of it.
Yep.
I would have thought that would have, any law enforcement agency that got wind of that should have been investigating it, surely. And management, because they did nothing, should be investigated.
Yeah, but, this is the problem, is that this company has got so big that you just can't, part of it could be that they can just afford the lawyers, any lawyer they want, pretty much. The biggest lawyers, and that's probably a big problem with it. But imagine if this happened with a cab company. Yeah,
well, yes. If that happened with a cab company, I can't see that the cab company would be in business very long. There would be such a huge hue and cry. This is why I can't understand why there isn't such a huge hue and cry about it.
Well, again, it's sort of, this came to being, BuzzFeed covered it, a couple of other places covered it. I think Jezebel covered it as well, another sort of the blog people kind of thing. But other than that, it's just been crickets.
I just find that unbelievable. Just totally unbelievable.
No one's covering it. So yeah, alright guys, I know that we want to save a bit of money, okay?
But they've proven that Uber's background checks are not worth the time they took to do them. And obviously they didn't take much time in doing them because of that woman in Chicago with prior convictions that managed to get onto Uber. Other thing I wanted to ask about, I've noticed that ads for Uber, they're saying you can earn $30 an hour.
Are they guaranteeing it?
No, they're not saying, or not that I saw, because the ad was just, the $30 an hour was a big ad. The name Uber was prominent, $30 an hour was, be a driver for Uber, and $30 an hour, that was prominent. But yeah, they weren't saying that there was $30 an hour for a set amount of time and as a guarantee, or that you could be up to $30 an hour, or what. It was just, and
it's a bit dodgy, really.
Well, you're a cabbie. How many cabbies earn $30 an hour?
Not a lot. Back maybe 20 years ago when it was, there were a lot more business, maybe, but now, no, not a lot.
Yes, well, I think that someone should look into that too, because that's obviously enticing people
Yeah.
with promises of earning a good wage.
Yeah. But if you actually go on uberpeople.net, if you ever just go to them in your particular city, go to uberpeople.net, which is basically the rideshare drivers their own forum, not separate from Uber. So it's Lyft and a couple other people as well, but they're basically saying that we can just keep a roof over our heads basically doing this stuff. It's just, and a lot of them are very annoyed. And if they're only $30 an hour, then why in the United States are a lot of them protesting?
Yes, well, I think there's more of them realise in Australia that it's not quite what it's cracked up to be. Look, I think that the whole thing should be everything, whether it be cabs, Uber, the whole thing should be sorted, regulated, and everything. But I'm not the government, so
yeah. And trying to get the government to do anything can be, as many of us know, can be quite difficult. You really sort of need to push.
Yes, now, poster girl for the gun lobby in Florida.
Yes, a little lady named Jamie Guild, who is just a gun fanatic, eats, breathes, sleeps guns. Decided to, that'd be really good, put on the back seat next to her son, who wasn't actually strapped into his booster seat also, so she's really one for safety. Decided to put her loaded .45 caliber gun next to a 4-year-old in the back seat.
So my next question is, even without the son thing being there, what if for some reason she had to make an emergency stop and the gun slid off the seat along with the baby, along with the toddler, and landed on the floor and went off?
Yeah.
That in itself would be very dangerous, because if it was aiming outside of the car, and remember a car door is a very thin piece of metal, and a .45 caliber would have no difficulty.
Then you just go through paper like it goes through paper.
Yes, and hits a pedestrian or someone in another car. She's in serious poo.
Yeah, well, it ended up shooting her. The son went, "Oh, look, shiny thing. What does this button do?" And she got shot in the back.
By her own 4-year-old.
By her own 4-year-old with her gun.
Genius.
Mother.
Yes.
Yes. Take a bow. Take a bow. Apparently she let the supervision let her 4-year-old shoot a .22 caliber. Obviously the supervision and what have you. And she looks forward to shooting a burglar.
Good.
She's a bit messed up in the head. Anyway, on a slightly lighter note, who got born?
Who got born on this day? Well, Saint Nicholas. He was a Greek bishop. He was born on this day, and that's where the Santa Claus myth started from him, or myth, legend, whatever, started from him.
You mean Santa Claus isn't real?
No. Sorry, kiddies. Santa Claus isn't real. And Santa Claus is actually, Santa Claus is actually of Dutch origin.
Yeah. Sinterklaas is actually an anglicised form of Santa Claus. It's also where we get Kris Kringle from.
Right.
Yes, similar sort of thing. But yeah, same animal, different breed.
Yes, yeah. In 1713, Nicholas Louis de Lascali, astronomer. He mapped the southern hemisphere.
And Matt probably mapped the sky of the southern hemisphere.
He was born on this day. He mapped the sky of the southern hemisphere. Sorry, I'm left out a little word, sky.
Yes, that's the thing above our heads.
Not the ground that we walk on. Right, so he was born on 1713. He didn't map the southern hemisphere in 1713.
He was born then.
Yes,
yeah.
1916, big band leader and trumpeter Harry James was born on this day in 1916. He was married to the most famous set of legs in World War II, Betty Grable. English actor John Gregson. One of those guys that if you like old movies, particularly old English movies from the 50s into the 60s, you'll know him. He was in Battle of the River Plate. He was Inspector Gideon in Gideon's Way. He was in the movie Guinevere. He did some 40 movies in his in his time. So yes, he's one of these actors that you see his face. Oh, I know that face. Yes, John Gregson. Now, Judd Hirsch. If you've ever watched Taxi, you've seen him. If you've ever watched the show Forever, which was on last year, I think it was. If you ever seen Independence Day, he played Jeff Goldblum's father. Yes, he's been in a lot of TV shows and movies. He was born on this day in 1935. Mike Love from the Beach Boys was born on this day in 1941. I don't think you need to explain what he does in the Beach Boys. I think anybody who knows the Beach Boys knows who Mike Love is.
Well, I know of the Beach Boys, but I didn't know the individual people.
Oh, there you go.
Because I'm a young whippersnapper, he's old fart.
Thank you. 1962, Terence Trent D'Arby came into the world. Born in New York. Had quite a few hits through the 90s and so forth. Now, the current Mrs. Stewart, Rod Stewart's current wife, Peggy Lancaster, she was born on this day in 1971. And for those who follow car racing in England or the program Top Gear, will have known this chap's name, Tom Chilton. He's a British racing car driver who has appeared many times on Top Gear.
Yeah.
Won many races and championships in the UK in touring cars. He was born on this day in 1985. So that's us for the evening. If you like us, hit like. If you don't like us, inflict us on your friends, and come and see us on the dark side.
We got cookies.
Bye.